Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here out around.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike.
Hello, Hollywood Mike.
How's it going today, Ray?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I can't complain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you work today?
Oh, I always work.
Do you?
Yeah, constantly.
I see.
Actually, truth be told, I didn't work very hard today, though. It's
Your boss doesn't listen to this podcast, does he?
no.
Okay.
I don't think many people do. So I think we're on the safe side.
Oh, thanks. Wow, listen to that. Wow, man. But we're number 2 in India.
We are number 2 in it.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have a following in India like you wouldn't believe.
Yep, that's great.
That is very
So
great.
you guys bought a new car.
We did. I bought a new car, and then she bought a new car. So now we have 2 new cars.
2 new cars.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So the
That's good.
automakers are making a lot of money off us.
Yeah, right.
So
Maybe we can get them to sponsor us.
I should go talk to them.
Yeah.
I think I will. I'll see if I can get them to sponsor us. Yeah, even the local dealerships.
Right.
Yeah.
And if anybody out there listening is looking to throw money at people,
That's
we're
right.
looking for sponsors. We don't care what you do.
That's right.
Yeah, if it's flooding, we're in the sandbag business, baby. Let's go.
You got it.
Who we got in the studio tonight?
Well, I was searching around. I came across this band called the Abby K Band, and they just happen to have a gal named Abby K in the band.
Well, that works out good.
It works out really
Perfect.
well.
It's great when things just kind of work out.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So hi everybody.
Welcome.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people in the studio here tonight. There's like 400 of them. Here.
Yeah, I think we should do like the third grade, your first day in third grade, where you introduce yourself.
Yeah, I think we should
just go right around the table. We'll start right over here. And
With who?
With Abby K.
All right.
Creatively, my name is Abby Kay, and I'm a Taurus, and my favorite color is yellow.
Perfect.
I'm Seth Beavis. I'm actually an Aries, and my favorite color is green. I swear it's true. You might hear otherwise.
Hi, I'm Julia.
Oh, she has such a little tiny voice.
Yeah. She has no sign.
And I'm a Gemini.
Yeah, hi, I'm Rob McHugh. I'm a bass player. I'm a Sagittarius.
All right.
I'm John. I'm the drummer, and I actually am a Gemini.
Oh, so there's 2 of you here.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm the drummer, and my favorite color is purple.
And fun fact, he used to be a radio personality.
All right.
He's got some experience.
Yeah. Back in my college years, my better years, I was up there for Voice of Walworth County. So,
Wisconsin.
Wow, no
yeah,
kidding.
with 91.7 The Edge, alternative rock radio.
From Wisconsin. Mm-hmm. All right.
Brought to you by Spotted Cow.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hey, being in Whitewater, pretty much, man.
Well, I'm glad you told us that. We'll talk slowly for you. I love the people from Wisconsin because they call us fibs.
I know. But they do have good beer.
They do.
They do have
I do
very
have
good
to give that to them.
Maybe the best beer.
Yeah.
You know, Spotted Cow is good beer.
Sure.
I can tear that stuff up. Mm-hmm. We should get Spotted Cow to sponsor us.
We should go do a show in Wisconsin
Yeah.
and just get some beer.
At Spotted Cow Brewery.
Yeah.
In
New Glarus,
Wisconsin.
New
Look at
Glarus,
that. See how much
Wisconsin.
we know about that stuff.
Yep.
I bet the Abby K band would play.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I bet you we could. Do you know anybody in the band?
A couple of them.
Do you know New Glarus is the home of the world's largest urinal? It is.
There are so many jokes. There are so many Wisconsin jokes that just went through my head like a freight train right now.
Well, I don't recall the name. There's a restaurant in New Glarus, and their claim to fame is the world's largest urinal. It's huge. It's like 7 feet tall.
No kidding.
Yeah. So,
all right. Anyways.
So let's get on with the band
Yeah,
here.
let's talk about the Abby K band. So when did this whole thing start? I'm assuming Abby K is responsible for putting it together. Right?
Yeah, I did. I started playing, I don't even know how long ago, but like at pizza places in the corner for free beer and pizza. I started playing by myself. But I want to say it's been like 2.5 years probably of the band. And we kind of came together like during the whole pandemic thing, which is not typical. I feel a lot of bands were together before that and kind of had to suffer through it. But we instead like kind of all found each other during that time. And that's when we came together.
Did you guys know each other at that time? Or
No, not any of us actually. John was the first member. He's the earliest original member of the band. But yeah, we met doing like open jams and through people. And we've all got to meet each other and come together to play music. It's been awesome.
Very cool. So what's your background? What have you done?
I mean, like I said, I started off playing pizza places in the corner, and from that, we've gotten to do a lot of cool things. We've got a lot of cool gigs coming up, and we like. It started as just me playing acoustic and me playing originals, and then we just kind of came to be. Like, I play acoustic guitar and I sing, and then I got a lead guitarist and I got a drummer. And soon after, we filled in a bass, and then Seth and Julia actually came to us after that, and we've just been really fortunate to find people who are very talented musicians who are up for playing original music as well as playing a really wide variety of covers. And I throw them so many things, and they are always up for it. So we really do cover a lot of styles of music, a lot of decades of music, and as well as create our own music. So we have a really eclectic blend that we put together, and we enjoy doing it. And we get a lot of positive comments on our music selection, I feel.
Julie, I think you were the only person that didn't say what you do in the band. You just kind of said, "Hi, I'm Julia."
Yes, I do like background vocals and harmonies with Abby.
Okay. All right. No instrument. You're just kind of the person on the mic in the back.
She plays some percussion. She's playing it down, but she does.
Hey, you can't overlook a good backup singer and percussionist. Yeah, you could be the next star on that documentary, 10 Feet from Stardom. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
That's a great documentary. You guys should see that. It's all about backup singers who tour with famous singers, and some of those singers are actually better than the lead singers. Actually,
A lot of the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's a great documentary called 10 Feet from Stardom, which is a great title. So, who was the first person to sign on? Who was the first person to kind of join? Or
He's actually not here. He moved. So John would be the first one in the room who did.
Okay.
Yes.
And I hear he's the best drummer in the room. So.
He is. Yeah. Actually, sorry, guys. I'm going to go ahead and say
Barely,
that.
just by a little bit.
He is.
Julia's better, I hear, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I can twirl my sticks. So.
Oh, yeah. See,
He also has like really luxurious hair.
Yeah.
He does a lot of.
That's what really landed me
yeah.
the lead drummer role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lead drummer.
So give us a little bit information about the chronological order. How did the
origin story?
Yeah. Give us
The
that for
origin
sure.
story. Yeah. So I started playing music, and I actually had a friend of mine who he told me he was like, 'cause I'd play at friends' houses and whatever, and people knew that I played and that I wrote music. And I had a friend of mine say, "Hey, Abby, like, if you want to be a singer, you need to go sing." And it was like the stupidest but smartest advice ever, because I mean, that's very obvious, but you need to hear that. So I was like, you're right. I should go places and play out and meet people. And I started doing that after that. And I got to meet all the people who are in the room now, all 400 of them, as you said. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we started playing just like at a bar that had an open jam. And that's where John came into the picture. And at that point it was me and an electric guitarist. And John played drums, and I had booked a solo gig, and I booked a solo gig at a distillery, and I showed up to the solo gig at the distillery with a band of 4 people. And the night before that, had practiced with John and the guitarist and myself, and we picked up a bass player who didn't even own a bass, and we got him a bass for the weekend. And we showed up at the distillery with a full band, and it was the first time I'd ever heard people like really up and dancing, and participating in that way, because usually I was by myself on an acoustic, more of a listening scene. And oh my God, the next day we were all just calling each other, just so excited about it. And after that, like, it became a thing. And I asked the guys, I was like, what do you want the band name to be? Like, they're like, well, it should have your name on it because you've been playing solo. And I was like, all right, like we could be like Abby K, you know, like Tom Petty and the Runaways, like, or Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Joan Jett and the Runaways.
That would be a great hybrid, though. Let's make that happen.
Yeah. Tom
That
Petty
could be your
and-
new cover band.
Let's get the Heartbreakers and Joan Jett.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
That would be a show.
That would actually be really good.
Initially, when she brought up the idea, I was like Abby K and the Ironclad Super Hogs, but that didn't really stick. So
Yeah, so I shut that one down, but it's not to say it couldn't happen. But it was so funny because the guys, I was like, what do you want to do? And that's like, they're like, we're fine with the Abby K band. I was like, that's not lame. And they're like, no, we can do that. So it's so funny because I don't know, it seems like a long time ago when we did that. And now that's what we do. And we've been creative with other things, but our name is not creative.
But you know what? That seems to be the thing nowadays. Think about all the bands out there that are somebody's name, the somebody's name band. They're all over the place. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it works, whatever. You're sitting over there kind of chill there, Seth, man. So when did you start playing and how'd this come about for you?
Yeah, it was about a year ago now at this point. I think I've only been in the band for a year or so. And I met John at a bar in Wakanda that has an open jam. And I was just kind of there and we played some tunes together. And he came up to me and sort of like, hey, our guitar player is moving to Florida and we need a new guitar player. Like, would you be interested in checking us out? So I saw a couple of shows and kind of hung out, met the rest of the band and figured it might be a good fit. And so joined in. And I think my first show was in January or sometime last year. I'd been in cover bands before and was just coming off of doing some original music that I was breaking up with and, didn't have a whole lot of reflexes for the cover band stuff. And they said, well, here's our set list. And they handed me like 50 tunes and I had a month to learn them. And so I buckled down and did that and we started playing and things actually went pretty well. I got to say, it's been a really good time with the band so far. I can't complain about really any of the shows that we played. And then it's been a lot more fun because eventually my wife started singing with us. So Julia and I are
there
married.
it is. Yeah. There it is. I knew that was going to come out eventually. I was waiting for that.
Yeah. You've heard it here first, folks.
I was waiting for when that.
Nobody knew.
That was slick too. They just kind of stuck it in there. My wife started playing with the band and stuff.
That's right. Nobody knew until now. Now.
That's exactly.
This is a Rock and Roll Chicago podcast first.
Well, Abby keeps us separate on stage to make sure that no one knows about that. So if you all could keep it quiet,
Yeah. Well, I mean that's probably a good thing. I mean, because there's a couple bands out there like Fleetwood Mac and the Mamas and the Papas where that didn't the intermingling didn't work too well.
No, not too well.
Yeah.
it was funny too. Seth was saying, after I had met him at this jam bar, it was just kind of me there that night from the Abby K band. And I knew that we were looking for somebody, but the way Seth and I kind of look back on it now, it was one of those almost like you're flirting with somebody. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. How you doing? Where you from?
Right.
Really trying to get to know the guy and be like, hey, do you want to come over sometime? And have a drink or two, play a couple songs,
Yeah, I definitely went home that night about, 1 a.m., woke up my wife and said, so I've met someone. She was real happy to hear that at first.
Yeah. And what was the reaction to that?
Honestly, very pleased because this is amazing. So very pleased about it.
Now, did you join right away or no?
No, I would go to a lot of gigs and just have fun and play and sing along. And Abby and I got really close and I don't even know how it happened. Yeah.
We went on a band field trip to watch another band and we were kind of standing together and talking. And then she was kind of singing along and she's like, yeah, I grew up singing harmonies with my mom and everything else. And I was like, you want to sing harmonies? And it was just so instant after that. And it's been super fun. And I've never had another girl in the band with me before either. So that's super fun. And we get to sing together and we just have a great time. And
yeah. It was we can't pay you, but I'll bring you cookies. Now, are they a twofer? So, are they a twofer? Is it split 4 ways? And too bad. No,
we cannot answer these questions in case we get audited later.
Accountant.
Yeah, take it up with their accountant.
Okay, gotcha. So, how you doing over there, Rob?
Doing real good. Thank you.
The man holding down the low end over there.
Glad to be here. Thanks.
Yeah. So, tell us your story. How'd you join up with everyone?
I was in about 4 different bands before I got in this band.
And he is not exaggerating.
Yeah, and I was kind of a free agent. I wanted to pick up gigs. I wanted to pick up shows. I am not the bass player that Abby mentioned that did not have his own bass that she had to buy. A bass for. I will just add that because that was my predecessor. I did own a bass. Yeah, I was just picking up small shows, kind of coffee shop gigs where I would play guitar with a duo. With a friend of mine, I was playing with some older guys that did not want to gig because their wives would not let them gig. So then, that was another story. But anyway, so I knew John actually before that, when I was playing with the older guys, because John subbed in as a drummer at that time. And then the opportunity came up for me to join, and John called me, and I came on board.
Yeah, I asked the guys, we needed a bass player, and I asked the 2 guys that were in the band still, and I was like, who do you want? And they both same time were like, Rob McHugh. And I was like, okay, because I had met him, and I played a gig once, and we played a gig, and he was there, and he came and played a song with us. So I knew him, and I was like, guys, he's in 4 bands. So I didn't think it would happen, but we're very, very lucky that it did.
But that's a good thing. A lot of people would, if they're looking to fill a spot in their band, a lot of people would say, oh, he plays in 4 bands, forget it. But there's a reason why he plays in 4 bands. And
absolutely.
There's a reason why you can go around. You can see 10 bands in 1 month, right? And you'll notice that there's probably about 5 guys that play in all 10 of those bands. Because when you find guys that are good and they're professional, they tend to get asked to play in other bands.
Absolutely.
They really do.
You could probably put this guy up with every band he's ever played with. He could probably play a show that great with them if he hasn't even played with them in a year. He's that kind of player. So we're very lucky.
Right. So before we get into original music, because I know you have that coming, what kind of covers do you guys play, and what kind of drew you guys together, and I guess who's deciding that?
It started off with me deciding that, and I don't know how I get away with it. And I feel great that this group supports me in the crazy stuff that I chose. But it started with being me, because I had booked these gigs, like I said, I started booking things solo, and then we just started kind of building a band. But now we share ideas, and we have little conference calls where we have a list of songs that we want to do eventually and get to, and we'll play to the season, or we'll play to the venue, and we'll try to come up with new things that make sense for what we're getting into. But we play a lot. We play country music for sure. We play rock, we play pop, we play bluesy-ish things as well. And I think the big thing for me is that a lot of times people just want to book you based on your genre. And I think that in a lot of ways we could be more marketable if we just went that way. I mean, a lot of times we find people just looking for a straight country band, and we have enough country songs that we can do that. But I think one of the things that makes us unique is that we're able to play. I don't think there's a genre we've tried that we haven't pulled off. We've gotten away with a lot. We play some Lizzo. We've played 9 Inch Nails. We've been all over the place, and we always get really good feedback about that from the crowd. That's one of the things that I hear the most, is that people like our set list, and they like how they heard a lot of songs that they like, and that it's not pegged as just one thing. So I like to try to keep it wide open with that, and not let the genre define what we do, and just try to have fun with the art of playing songs that we like. And it's really fun to have a band of people with really good musical taste, because they all bring good suggestions forth.
Mm-hmm. The videos on your website, I thought your continuity, let's try that again. That was easy for me to say. I thought the continuity was pretty consistent. You had Piece of My Heart was on there. I saw that one, right? I saw that video, and everything else that's on there, you can tell that there's a common thread in all of the songs and all the videos that are on your website there. So it'd be interesting to see these other examples. But the one thing that I also noticed is that you might have a little bit of a variance in your set list, but it's not two ends of the spectrum. It's not like you're not doing a Taylor Swift.
It's not like we're trying on other people's clothes, we do everything our way, and so it does. I agree with you. I think it does have a common theme to it, and it works somehow. It's hard to describe, and I feel like I said, sometimes you feel the push to be more marketable and want to put yourself in one lane, but I just want to follow my heart with it and make it authentic for people.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Good. And I know you guys said it, but how long have you been together? I think you were going to say something.
About 2 years we've been together.
Well, about 2 years.
Yeah.
At what point in time did you guys decide, okay, enough of the covers, and you're going to start working on the original stuff?
It was originally originals.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
We
Okay.
started-
So
Always.
it's reverse. It was originals, and then you guys started.
Yeah. I
throwing
think
in
that's
some
what
covers.
made me stick out to other musicians. And I remember like giving myself a pep talk, like I'm gonna go into this bar, I don't know anyone, and I'm gonna play original music.
Right.
And if people want to play with me, that's because it's good. And like I need to do that. Like I said, my friend was like, if you want to be a singer, go sing. If you want to be a songwriter, go songwrite. And like so I had to kind of like give myself that pep talk because I come from like a musical theater background too, where you're always playing a character. So to like be yourself and play your music is like a pretty crazy thing to do, honestly. And then to have people who are established musicians who want to be a part of that project is really cool. And that's how we started. So we've actually grown more, getting more covers. That's where we've grown more, but we started with originals, I would say.
Mm-hmm. And I think I cut you off, Rob. You were going to say something else before I asked how long you were together.
Oh, I was just going to add on to what Abby was saying about the originals that she had. And then when we joined, we just started writing together and producing music together. But Abby's really been the foundation of writing a lot of the music. Her creative process is really, really good. I've told her that this is a big compliment, but she has an intuitive understanding of melody. And I've compared it to like the Beatles, where she has a melody in her head and she writes around that. And it's always a really good melody. And like, if you listen to the Beatles, like Let It Be, songs like that, it's very melody based. And that's how she writes.
Well, good.
And then we just kind of add on to that.
Excellent.
To her,
Excellent.
Her creative process.
Well, I think it's time we hear an example of that.
Yeah, but she said that they originally played originals. So originally originals, would that be like a double negative? So they're really not originals, they're covers?
Only in your head.
Oh, okay. Come on.
Originally originals.
Talk amongst yourselves. Go ahead.
Abby and the Aboriginals.
There you go.
There you go. Yes, I think.
I think we found the new name for the band.
Yeah, that's right.
The Aboriginals.
So let them get their stuff together, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Rick Anthony. I'd like to thank my radio brothers, Ray the Roadie and Hollywood Mike, for allowing me to tell you about my podcast, the Someone You Should Know podcast. We spotlight musicians, authors, and interesting people, and we like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. The podcast is heard twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and you can check it out on your favorite streaming platforms and on the web at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. That's the Someone You Should Know podcast with me, Rick Anthony. Making a difference, one artist at a time.
I'm Christy from Crime Cave Podcast. I've had a huge interest in true crime since my days of watching marathons of Snapped back in the mid-90s. I needed an outlet to talk about the cases that have haunted me for a very long time. With each episode under 20 minutes, I shine a light on some of the most bizarre cases in the last 50 years. Join me in the Crime Cave.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
I think we're ready to take it away. Here is the
first time tonight.
Yeah, here's the Abby K Band.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That was fantastic. We don't have our applause.
We don't
button
have our
anymore.
applause button.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's a new mixer. We don't have our applause button anymore. But I would
I
have thought
know. Yeah, there'd be applause and all kinds of stuff.
that was
very good. Very
fantastic.
good.
I'll tell you, I watched. I should say I listened to. I didn't watch. I was driving at the time, but I was going through all of your videos on your website, listening to you guys performing cover songs and the whole bit. But take this as the best compliment that I can possibly give you. I don't feel like I've heard you until this very moment, because man, you guys really sounded like you guys, and I have no idea what that should be, but I know that you definitely sound different than the cover songs that you do in the videos. That was great.
Yeah, I always feel like it's our best sell when we just are ourselves and play our music. So thank you.
Yeah, that was great. Seth, I have to ask you about that guitar, because it sounds fantastic, first of all.
Oh, thank you. When I was growing up, I was really, I don't know, kind of a weird kid. I liked strange music and things, and I still do. But one of the things that I was really into when I was in like high school was like Django Reinhardt.
Yeah, right.
And gypsy jazz and stuff. And so this is some kind of gypsy jazz guitar model. I've been wanting to have it for a long time. I ordered it from some maker who was only selling it in Germany at the time. And I basically waited very anxiously for like 2 months for it to cross through customs and get here. And then this is the first time I've ever used it for anything other than playing in my bedroom.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
It's I think Gitane is the name of it, which I'm not sure
Gitane.
exactly where it's from or anything like that, but kind of a strange maker of folk instruments and things
Sure.
like that. I think they make mandolins and all kinds of other fun stuff for it.
Right.
It's really interesting. It's got this smaller sound hole in here,
Like
and
an oval shaped sound hole.
yeah, and it kind of makes it a little punchier. It's a little bit more mid range, so it can cut through the mix a little bit.
It definitely did.
Yeah.
In fact, is that all nylon strings, or is that a hybrid set?
No, it looks like a classical guitar. It's got that same shape, but it's actually all steel strings.
Okay, those are all steel strings. All right, and it's got the classical style headstock on it.
Yeah,
which
it does. Yeah, the classical style headstock and classical tuners, which actually makes me a little more comfortable, because in college I went and did classical guitar for a while and did that. And for a long time, playing on those nylon strings, I couldn't play acoustic because it just hurt my hands too much.
Yeah.
And eventually I switched back over to steel strings. And unfortunately, I haven't picked up my classical guitar in a while. But
Right. But I mean, even the bridge on that is unique. Everything about that guitar is unique.
yeah, it's a very fun. It's got sort of this mustache-looking bridge.
Yeah.
They call it a manouche.
And it's extra wide. I mean, it's much longer than you normally would see with the stop tailpiece on the end. That's
Exactly. And these sort of end, this really wide part is actually not movable, but the middle section is completely floating. If I took the strings off, it would just come off in your hand.
Right.
And the point of having sort of these end pieces is so that you can set the intonation after you change your strings. You line it back up and the intonation's right. Electric guitar, you have to adjust fine tuning and things like that.
Nice. Boy, I wish we had cameras set up so people could see it.
No kidding.
It's a very unique guitar.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. So when was I think you mentioned something about a distillery that was your first gig. What was the name of that one? What was the distillery?
That would be Copper Fiddle Distillery in Lake Zurich, Illinois.
Copper Fiddle.
And we will actually be playing their New Year's Eve party this year.
No kidding.
Yes.
Wow.
It's going to be a great time.
I like distilleries.
We love
I do
distilleries.
too.
Like,
Yeah.
what were they making there?
They make, their number one thing is that they're a whiskey distiller, but they also have rum and gin as well.
All that stuff. Your style of music seems like a perfect place to be playing.
Yes, and that's actually my hometown, so it's very like full circle. That's the first gig, the first paid gig I ever got was there, and they were like, I played at an open mic there, and they were like, hey, we'd love to have you in to play a show. Like, do you have 3 hours of music? And I was like, yes. which like I did not, but I was like, I will, you know?
Hence the covers. Or
Yeah. So I practiced my butt off, and I was actually still living in Missouri at the time. I went to college in Missouri, and I think at that point, maybe I had a job in Missouri, maybe it was after college, and I practiced my heart out because I didn't know that like you could show up to gigs with like a music stand and music. So I like memorized all 3 hours, right? And I was ready to go, and I showed up at the gig, and they're like, "Where's your stuff?" And I was like, well, here's me and my guitar. And they didn't have like,
here's the stuff.
I needed to provide a sound system, and I had no idea because like at open mic night, the host provided it. And I just had no idea. I'm like, deer in the headlights. I've never done this. And I'm trying to pretend I have. And they tell me, and I'm like, oh my God. So I called my sister-in-law, and she like worked for a local music store, and like we just grassrootsed it. Like I had like duct taped microphones on whiskey barrels. Like we made it work. And the first thing I did, I got my check from that, and I bought my first PA, and we still use it. Yeah. And like, honestly, it's been really like, it's grown since that. And I've learned so much, and I know I have so much to learn, and we just continue to grow with it. But then it's that same distillery is where we had like our first gig as a band as well. And now we're getting to do like their New Year's Eve show, and it's going to be a great time. So
Are you all from like up north? So, I mean, you all drove about at least an hour to be here, huh?
We did. It was a band field trip. There was some carpooling involved. It was, it was good times.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're all north of here, in other words.
Same general area.
Same general area?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where are some of the other places that you play around? Are you playing mostly up north, or do you play down
We
here?
do. We mostly do. And now we're starting to pick up some stuff around this way. We're going to be at Old Republic, and that's pretty close to here, right? Old Republic.
That's in Elgin.
Yeah, in Elgin. Is that not close to here?
That's
still about an hour.
That's still about an hour
Really?
away. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dang. Well, we play there in 2 weekends. We're going to be at Side Outs in Island Lake this Friday. And then next Friday, we're at Old Republic in Elgin. And then next Friday, we're in Antioch at the Rivalry Ale House. So yes, we're very up north given this.
Yeah, I would say pretty much looking at like our general demographic area of where we're at is pretty much anywhere between like Chicago and Milwaukee. We've done stuff downtown in the city, so pretty much anywhere Milwaukee to Chicago. That's kind of our.
You might see us in the summer more this way. We're starting to.
Yeah, we're picking up a couple things in this area. So yeah, definitely, and some talks for some summer hootenanny, I guess you could say.
Summer hootenannies, huh?
Hootenannies, yeah.
That's a professional word for it, I'm pretty sure.
No, it definitely is. Hootenanny is definitely a professional word.
Especially down here.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure we sound good here in, Southern Illinois.
Yeah. Really? Southern Illinois? Really?
Yeah.
You do realize you're 30 miles from Chicago, right?
Yeah, I do. Are we north or south I-80 right now?
North right now.
Oh, okay, so we're still in Northern Illinois. We're just making sure.
Not by much, though.
You got a map handy?
Yeah. So who's managing all your social media and all that stuff for you?
That's me.
Boy,
Wow.
you're just doing it all, aren't you?
Who does the booking?
Me.
Wow.
But, yeah, for the most part, me. Some of the guys have picked up stuff too.
Who writes the original music?
Me.
Who picks up the tab?
Me. Actually, tonight there might have been one, and that might have been Seth tonight.
Yeah, no kidding.
Comes out of band tab.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Right. That's right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you play another one for us, and then we'll get some other information and some other date information from you guys. But I think everybody would like to hear another song, especially if it's going to be as good as that last one.
I'd like to hear another song.
Yeah.
But my opinion doesn't really matter, does it?
Oh, of course it does.
Oh, okay.
It does. We're going to do this one just for you.
All right. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
And once again, here is the Abby K Band.
Got the matches, I've got the gasoline. Let's start a fire. Can you handle me? I know you want to, but can you keep up? Just moving closer. Can you catch me? got the Smith and Wesson. Let's take this tiny lesson. Can they handle me? I know you want to, but can you keep up? Just moving closer. Can you catch me? Can you catch me? I'll be your gunslinging calamity Jane. You'll be my John Wayne. We could ride side by side through rugged country. You can keep up with me. Can you catch me? Can you catch me? Can you catch me? They say that everything good is wild and free. So just think how good it could be with me. Can you catch me? Can you catch me? Cause I'll be your hard-headed calamity Jane. You'll be my John Wayne. We could ride side by side through rugged country. You can keep up with me. Can you catch me? Can you catch me? Can you catch me? Can you catch me?
That's the Abby K Band, everybody.
Once again.
Once again, fantastic. I'm an old Western, like historian and movie buff. I love the references to Calamity Jane and John Wayne. and everything.
I'm super into it.
I think the John Wayne is getting the short end of the stick because Calamity Jane was known to be a little rough around the edges there.
Absolutely.
And
And if she ain't difficult, she ain't worth it, right?
I actually visited her grave.
I've always wanted to. That's on my
Deadwood,
bucket
South
list.
Dakota.
Yep,
Yeah, absolutely.
I visited her grave. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, I mean that whole song is that like idealism of like the Wild West, and I've always just thought that was a time where I would have made sense in the world, and I just totally randomly wrote that song years ago, and then I was at an open jam again, and I had a bunch of guys around. It was a kind of quiet night, and they're just like, play another original, play another original, play another. And so I'm just like going through every song I can come up with. And that was not one of the first ones. And I played it, and the guys at the bar were like, that's the one. And I hadn't thought that, like I just thought it was kind of like a whimsical song that I had written at some point. And then it's been really cool because like once people don't realize that like how much as an artist, like you're looking to connect with people. Mm-hmm. So like their feedback means so much. And, so to hear that, I mean, that pushed that song through to me playing it by myself and then eventually with the whole band. And it's so great just to hear how they've colored it all in and made it the song that it is.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I loved it. Absolutely.
Hey, wasn't one of your band members a radio DJ?
That is true.
It was. Yeah. Back in the day.
Tell us about it, John.
Well, I went to school at University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, and just as kind of like an elective, I was like, I'll take a radio class. And, you know, it was something interesting to me, I think, with just being a musician, growing up, kind of listening to the radio, hearing all different kinds of music and flipping the station, seeing what was, you know, rock, what was country, what was metal, what was blues, and just kind of bouncing around from genre to genre, finding out what you really like. And I play drums, but I also do guitar and bass, and I'm terrible at keyboards, but I still try it anyway. You know, so I just kind of wanted to try and experiment with a couple different genres, and I thought the radio was a really great tool for that type of thing. So when I was in college, I was a business major, but just as an elective, I had some extra time on my hands, needed a couple extra credits. And
What was your radio name, John?
I think I was Shaggy.
Juicy John.
Yeah. So I was DJ Shaggy or something like that. But it was an alternative rock radio station, and I did it while I was in college. And it was a great time. And again, it was just, you know, meeting people, doing a couple interviews, and really having a good time with it, and learning the whole behind the scenes process, you know, with like what you guys are doing now with the mixing boards and everything else. And for a lot of shows too, if we don't have like a sound person provided, then I kind of am our sound guy. So, and I would accredit a lot of that to doing, you know, a lot of the radio work in college with having those mixing boards and figuring out how to run sound and make things sound pretty.
Right. What year were you, or did you graduate from Whitewater?
Yeah, I graduated from Whitewater in 21, if my math is correct.
In 21, okay.
Yes, 21 is when I graduated.
I had a nephew that went there, and you look to be about his age, but he's actually a little bit older. So
okay,
I was just because I know it's not a huge school.
No, but it's a fun school.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I know it's a fun school.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures actually.
Thirsty Thursdays were never better.
Yeah, no, my nephew my nephew that went there. Who knows? You may have. Are you a fisherman at all?
I'm not. No,
because the bass fishing team there exists because of my nephew.
Oh, no kidding.
He's a passionate fisherman, and I believe the story is he walked into the athletic director's office one day and said, "Why don't we have a bass fishing team?" And he said, "Well, here's a check. Go start one." And that's exactly what happened. And now he owns his own guide service. He's a professional bass fisherman and the whole bit. So
how about that?
Only in Wisconsin.
Only in Wisconsin. But you know, he's from here. He's from here, but he went there because it was in Wisconsin, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go someplace where I can fish every day."
Yeah, I'm not much of a fisherman. I don't think I could catch anything, even if he gave me the magic bait. But no, but I got a couple friends that were on the team. So
oh, no kidding. Yeah. Well, I'll guarantee that they know my nephew. Louis Dazzle was his name.
Okay,
and he started the whole thing there. So
excellent.
Yeah,
trailblazer.
Well, where can people find you guys? Well, I know you're playing New Year's Eve, right?
That is true. You can find us this Friday at Side Outs in Island Lake. And we are the Abby K Band on Instagram.
All right.
And on Facebook, we're Abby K Music. And we also have abbykband.com.
Okay.
We got a website now. We're official.
Right. Any dates coming up? Well, probably about mid-November to mid-December? Anything in there?
Yeah, we've got Old Republic in Elgin on the 17th this month.
Okay.
And we have the Rivalry Ale House in Antioch on the 24th this month. Am I correct? They're checking their phones.
Is that Black Friday?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It's a Black Friday show. I think they got
a
a parade in town at Antioch that day. And I mean, we always have a good time in Antioch. It never disappoints.
Nice. Yeah.
Mention Facebook.
Yeah. We're Abby K Music on Facebook.
Yeah. Like us, please.
We promise we're likable.
While we're at it, like our podcast too.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely be all up on tagging you guys on that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know we're at Mad Cats in Palatine on the 22nd of December. John, you got some more for us on there?
Yeah, before we're going to be at Mad Cats, we'll also be at Peggy Canane's in Arlington Heights.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we definitely got some good stuff.
We went through a while where we were just on like an Irish pub tour. You know, we like a good Irish pub.
Yeah.
But, you know, and that totally makes sense because you kind of have a little bit of that twang.
You know, and we do. And it's funny because like we totally do play to that genre. And I feel like that acoustic bit is definitely how I mean, that's all I play is acoustic. So that's how I play. But now having the full band, we've got some other songs that if we had our full electric gear, we'd rock out some harder stuff as well. But we like to do it all, like we've said.
Yeah, we also had mentioned that we're going to be at Copper Fiddle on New Year's. Before that, we're also going to be in Highwood at 28 Mile on December 29th.
Oh, okay. So you guys got some
Very
gigs coming
busy.
up. Yeah.
Very
We
nice.
are, we're busy.
Well, that's good. That's good. So we got to get everybody out to go and see these folks.
That's right.
I think they're going to.
We got to get you guys out. You guys can be our VIPs.
I will only come to a distillery.
Well, we got two of those that we just talked about. 28 Mile is a distillery as well.
You know, shame on me. I would love to. I tell you what, I've got so many bands that I need to go out and see, and if I ever get a day off, I will. I really would, because I play a lot as well. So, but yeah, one of these days I will make it out.
Well, thanks for driving all this way down to southern Illinois.
No, we're still northern. We decided we're still northern.
But thanks a lot for coming out. We appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having us.
And we'll catch you around.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it.
The Abby K Band.
Not to be confused with the Mary Kay cosmetic products.
That's right. I wouldn't confuse that. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
But you know that their original songs were excellent.
They were
Really good. Really good.
Really good. I enjoyed them all.
Yeah, you know they I listened to their cover songs. Their cover songs were good, but I really felt like we were getting to the heart and soul of the band with those originals.
For sure.
Which is the way it should be.
For sure.
I enjoyed them very much, and looking forward to hearing from more from them.
Yeah, definitely. We've been getting a number of bands in lately that are doing more original stuff.
And that's good.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope to find a bunch more of those of the original bands out there for sure.
Yeah. So all you bands out there, if you're thinking about it, think about writing a song. You might be surprised.
That's right.
So, alrighty, there you have it. Another fine episode, if I may say so myself. So make sure you tune in next Tuesday for another exciting episode of the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast. See you then.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Rock and roll Chicago.